Hey, everybody. Hi, Sophia. Can I just tell you, I know I'm early because I'm so excited about the potential that these conversations hold. I've been thinking about this pretty much ever since yesterday. And thank you, everybody. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was so generous and so kind with offering donations. I did not at all expect that. There are times when in the past I very specifically would be like, oh, money's running tight. I need to go on and do some content so I can generate, some interest. But yesterday was really just, I want to share, I want to connect, feeling like, it's interesting is it's almost exactly the same place I was almost 10 years ago to the day when I started this channel. Let that sink in. Like I realized that yesterday. Hey, Diana. I realized that yesterday as I was like, oh, the whole reason that I started this YouTube channel in the first place was that I was in the midst of, hey, Elle, I was in the midst of my, hey, Demi, I was in the midst of my spiritual awakening. I had been working with my guides, the lighted ones, and going through what I call the spiritual boot camp. And I started my YouTube channel just because I didn't have anyone to talk to. Hey, Sarah, hey, Yogi. My friends at the time, some of whom I'm still friends with, they didn't get it. They didn't understand. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. And I started my YouTube channel just as just kind of the same exact moment that I had yesterday of just like, I got to do something. Like there have to be other people out there that are going through a similar situation. There have to be other people out there who are experiencing this upheaval. This was back in 2014. So we were post 2012, obviously. Anyway, I just find that to be really, really fascinating that yesterday was the most excited, the most invigorated, the most activated and lit up that I have been about hopping on here to connect with you in a long time. Hey, Kenny, welcome. So I just find that to be really, really interesting, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and I have some notes here, excuse me, just because I want to kind of keep my head on straight. I just think what's really, really fascinating here. Thank you, friend. I love you too. Um, is to see what we can create when we continue to show up. And thank you, Sophia. Continue to show up and ask questions with the intention of leaning into the unknown, right? With the intention of, okay, there's this quote that I love. It's Jacques Mazrine, and it says, there is no other world. There's only another way to live. Hey, Pixie. And I love that idea, right? I remember back in 2012 when I was first tapping into this idea of the new earth and the splitting of timelines and the splitting of realities. Back then, there was a literal interpretation, which I think we humans do far too often, far, far more often than is I think intended. But there was this literal interpretation of this idea that there would be literally two separate earths, and that you would like look up in the sky and there's the earth where all of the low vibrational people live, which I never really fully understand. It didn't seem to me that spirit is going to create an exclusive, separatist kind of reality, but I digress. What I'm really aware of is, yes, there is a different way to live. There is a different way to be. There is an infinite number of ways that we can interface and connect with life, with the world, with, the field of unconditional love that connects us all. And what I know is that momentum and consistency are two of the keys to manifesting something really, really quickly. And I'm leaning into the unknown. I'm leaning into what I haven't done. I'm leaning into what I haven't tried. I'm leaning into what I haven't explored. And part of this was realizing yesterday I was emailing with someone who had reached out, and she had just sent me a really lovely email. And I had this moment of realization where I was saying to her, I remember a time pretty recently where I just was like, I'm so tired of this idea of experts, right? Like, I look around on fucking Instagram and I see these fucking dudes sitting on a rented Lamborghini with a stack of $100 bills calling themselves some mastermind coach. Like, I don't intend to necessarily this isn't about me judging other people or tearing other people down, but as I was like scrolling through Instagram one day and it was like the 500th ad I have seen as some douchey Vegas bro with a giant watch sitting on a rented Lamborghini with a stack of bills trying to pretend that it was actually his. And I was like, this is so fucking gross. This is so dumb. Anybody can be an expert. All you have to do is get a social media account and call yourself an expert. So I kind of got to this point where I was like, Spirit, I'm tired of being an expert. I just want to be myself. I just want, and what I said last year to Spirit was, I don't want a job. I want a life. I am creating a life. I am receiving a life where I have a series of interests, curiosities, passions, and hobbies that all feed me in return in some way. And that is my life. My life is like a fucking pollinator. And I go from flower to flower, from interest to interest, just finding the things that light me up and bliss me out in that moment. And they all reciprocate in some way. Some give me money back, some give me resources back, some give me experience or just the joy of doing it or the joy of being able to help or serve or share or whatever. Because I've been talking a lot about this idea too of like the matrix isn't going to be the one that is going to take care of those who are here to dismantle the matrix. And I've been talking about this consistently for like the past 8-ish months that why do I expect the matrix to take care of me when I came here to be a part of those who are here to dismantle it? And I start, yeah, they're totally cosplayers. Look at me, I'm Sailor Moon. No, you're not. You're some dude in a rented costume and a Sailor Moon wig. And there's nothing wrong with that. Knock yourself out, babe. Have fun. But just don't walk around the fucking earth expecting people to believe that you're actually Sailor Moon. I digress. So I'm excited about this idea. And this is what I've been talking a lot about in my personal conversations, which is also part of why I wanted to create this series and connect with you was where I get to just be myself. I'm not an expert. I don't have answers. I'm not here to read. I'm not here to intuit. I'm not here to channel. I can do all of those things and I'm really fucking good at them. But I also need spaces where I love that king. Yes, I identify as a master, as a final boss as well. I really am looking for spaces where I get to be a part of the group. I don't always want to be the one in charge. I get it. I am the Virgo supreme. And to hear me say, quite literally in a public forum, that I don't always want to be the one in charge might be earth shattering, but it's true. And I've been thinking a lot about this idea of a business. And I've had what, four? I think this is my fifth business, right? I was a makeup artist, I had my cleaning company, I had my home staging, property staging. I have this and I did massage for a brief period. So this is my fifth sojourn into working for myself, which I love. I'm way, way too independent, I think, to work for somebody else at this point. Work with, collaborate, interdependent, absolutely. But nobody's my boss. Spirit's my boss. That's it. And so I've been thinking about this. I don't want my practice to be a business. I don't care about business plans. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to do my Chris Farley Van Down by the River. I don't care about business plans. I don't care about financial projections. I don't care about all these stupid fucking things that the Matrix uses to fence us in. I am not going to ask the Matrix for and use a model from the Matrix for how to live a life as a liberated human, because none of those exist in the Matrix. That is the antithesis. The Matrix is the very antithesis of liberation. So I started thinking about it and I was like, I don't even have a business. I have a practice. I have a way of life. And that is what I share. That is the example that I offer as one who lives as someone who is liberated, who has liberated themselves, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it. I think I had fallen into this trap that so many people on social media fall into where they only want to show you, the curated version. And I get that, right? You have a brand, you have a thing, you have to be consistent. People, we're visual creatures. We identify with faces, with logos, with colors and shapes. And so I understand that there needs to be some sort of consistency, but I'm not interested in doing it the way I'm supposed to. I never have been. I'm interested in doing it the way that is exciting and that is invigorating and that is inspiring. And I will tell you, the old model of sitting in front of a computer screen hours upon hours throughout the day for my work to support me, I don't want that. I don't want a job that requires me to sit in front of a fucking digital device for 8 hours a day in order to get the things that I require. Yes, Kenny, I agree. Many people don't understand what service is, and people often exclude themselves from their model of service. Look, babe, if you are not in the center of your wheel, you are not a fucking spoke, babe. You are the hub. You are the hub. And that's what I have started to realize is I made myself a spoke. I made my practice the hub. I made making money the hub. I made like, share, and subscribe the hub. Fuck that. No, I am the hub. Every particle is the center of the universe, and I am approximately 30 trillion particles. So I got a whole lot of centering here. I am with you, Nameless. I don't like sitting in front of the screen. So I don't want that model. And as someone had so eloquently pointed out yesterday, I've gotten what I was asking for. I said to Spirit, I don't want a job. I don't want a business. Okay, well, I got what I asked for. Be very mindful of what you are asking for. Careful? No, mindful, yes. I was also thinking about this new reality that we are a part of and this new version of self that has been emerging since August of last year. This integrated, embodied self, this self that is in the entirety of self, not just the love and light self, not just the successful expert self, all of self. And these versions of us that are being resurrected, which is really just a return to our true divine state of being, because you are not a who, you are a what. The human identity is the who, and that's the mask that we decided to put on to walk around in. Right? It's the scuba suit that allows you to navigate an environment that is not native. And as a being of energy, frequency, and light, the world of density and physicality is not necessarily native. So this is my scuba suit. This is what allows me to walk around on the bottom of the ocean. And so when we begin to realize that the reason we came here was to be part of a revolution, a re-evolution, then I say, well, then why the fuck am I trying to model the Matrix? It's our job to forge the path. Well, I can speak for myself. It's my job to forge the path. I'm assuming since you're here listening, in some way, it's your job to forge a path too. And there's more than one path forger on the planet activated at this time. We need a whole lot of us. And I've been realizing a lot about, where I was trying so hard to be a part of a reality that I didn't even really want to be a part of. Anyway, I digress. My point here is that we have to be willing to walk the path. We have to be willing to say, I don't want that. I'm moving in a new direction. I'm moving in a different direction. I am returning to natural divine law. I am returning to organic, authentic expressions. I am returning to circular models. Circular. We don't take it and hoard it and stash it. we circle, we take what we need and we continue to let it flow, right? That's my whole vision for this space. And showing up here is a way that we can just lean into the unknown. Lean into the fact that what we are doing has never been done before. Lean into the fact that we're not going to find models. Lean into the fact that the people who are getting 11 million views for an 11/11 video aren't fucking doing work that is pushing the envelope on anything. And those people are necessary, right? We have to have the columns and the supports for the old reality to stay viable as long as it needs to be viable. Because there are a whole lot of people that still don't know what the fuck is going on. They're just waiting for life to go back to normal. So we need those people who are talking about the old ideas of karma, the old ideas of reincarnation, the old ideas of, the chakras. And, we're moving so far beyond anything that we have ever understood spiritually. And we need those people who are talking about the outdated ideas to support the reality for those who are still awakening. I am here to build the new thing. My guides have been telling me since day one, your job is not to put out the fire. Your job is to build the new thing so that when the fire goes out, people have somewhere to go. So I can't expect those who are only interested in a Subway sandwich to readily say yes to my home cooked, organically grown, full course meal that I made for you from scratch with everything that I fucking grew myself. I get it. I get it. You want easy. You want fast food spirituality. You want definitions that are always the same and tell you who you are. It's like McDonald's, right? No matter where I go on the planet, for the most part, the cheeseburger is the cheeseburger. I didn't come here to be that. So why am I banging on the door to try to get into a situation that I don't even want to be a part of? That frankly can't hold me. That's the other thing. My frequency is one that it creates havoc. If something is ready to break and I walk into the room, I guarantee you it's going to break. That's just what my energy does. It breaks shit that needs to be broken to create space so something real and authentic and divine can be built in its place. So why? Yes, King, Master, Lord, I would love an industrial base. Why am I trying to get plugged back in, right? It's like that dude in the Matrix that wanted to be plugged back in. He wanted to forget. He wanted the illusion. He wanted to be a battery. So why am I doing that? I'm actually a quite optimistic person. I am definitely a glass half full person. And I so appreciate everything that everyone was offering yesterday. And what I also realized is I don't want advice. Like I said yesterday, I guarantee you there's probably nothing that you could recommend that I do or advice you could offer that I haven't already tried. And I'm certainly not shutting it down and saying I know better. No, not at all. Please, if you have things to offer, put them in the comments. I'm happy to hear your suggestions, recommendations, ideas, and thoughts, because that's what this is about, right? We collectively pour it all into our group well, and then we figure out what we've created together or what we can create together. But what I'm more interested in rather than advice is ideas, opportunities, possibilities. That's what I'm interested in. It's not that I am not ready for the change of the new world. I think that I was just so overwhelmed by the fact that there was no fucking model. There is no model other than how does it feel? Does this feel like the life I want? Does this feel like the reality I want to inhabit and pour myself into? Does this feel like a belief system that I want to invest myself in because it reciprocates? So if you're here, while you're here, let's do our best to avoid the rehashing of the history. I realized yesterday that's sort of what I was kind of, being seduced by was history, because history is easy, right? History is easy. I can fall asleep, I can go unconscious, and I can just be the same old self that I've been And I don't have to challenge, I don't have to push, I don't have to be accountable or responsible, I don't have to do any work. I just get to be half asleep and expect the world to take care of me. That's not what I want. So this is about possibility. This is about potential. This is about what haven't we done? What haven't we tried? This is about willingness and curiosity. I was thinking about history this morning, and I was thinking about how we so often fall back into the same old models. And I look at my practice for the past 10 years and the other businesses that I had. And basically, I just took the same old model that I was taught when I worked in retail and for other large corporations. And I just kind of did the same thing, right? I took the same model. It worked for a while, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable because those corporations do not respect the natural cyclical nature of things. Nature shows us. You can't let it live forever. It has to die so that it can collapse and compost and be regenerated and reborn. Nothing grows forever. This idea of endless financial growth, fuck you. Nothing in nature lives forever. Nothing is eternal except for nature itself. And within the context of nature itself, everything has an ending point. So I'm not interested in this cul-de-sac, one-sided, greedy, gross, like hoarding of resources for no reason. So that's what I want this to be about. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to share whatever is on the top of my mind. Exactly, Master Lord. What do they think happens once they have all the money? Well, they'll just print more so that they can be even greedier. But I'm just going to show up every day. I think I can commit to 30 days of this, and let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I don't know. This could just be 30 days of us talking and then nothing happens, and that's fine too. I have no expectations. What I have is desire. What I have is willingness. What I have is curiosity. What I have is excitement and passion. I've been leaning into Bashar teachings a lot lately. I've always known about, well, always, for the past 10, 12 years, I've known of Bashar. But I never really followed his stuff, and I don't know why. Because I find Bashar to be incredibly entertaining and wise and really, really funny. And Daryl Anka, the guy who channels Bashar, seems like a very, very kind, sweet person. Anyway, yay, Bliss. I'm glad you're motivated and fired up. Anyway, Bashar keeps talking about, and I know this is true, I just haven't yet fully embodied it, right? It's still an idea. It's still in the intellectual land as it's making its way into my DNA. But he talks about the only thing you have to do is follow your highest excitement. That's it. Because excitement in and of itself contains everything you need. And you follow that excitement until the well runs dry in that moment, and then you stop and you move on, and then you return when the excitement is there again. And I started thinking a couple of days ago, well, what excites me? Like that, I think was the saddest thing. Was it took me a minute to even realize, well, what am I excited to do? I mean, I know the things that I love, right? And if someone said, hey, how do you love to spend your time? I'd have no problem sharing that with you. But in the moment of following that excitement, I was like, what? There is no excitement here. I don't know what my excitement is. Right now, my excitement is let's just go smoke a big fat joint, eat a bag of chips, and fall asleep. Like that was as excited as I could get about anything. And then yesterday, when I posted that first video where I was just like, okay, I don't know what the WTF is going on. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you. And yesterday and this morning, for the first time in months, I was excited about sitting down and sharing on my YouTube channel. I was excited about it. I was like, oh, My God, I'm actually looking forward to this. It doesn't feel like a drain. It doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like a slog. This just feels like something that's fun that I really want to do. And here I am. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to continue to show up here. I'm going to try to make it as consistent as I can because I know in the land of the social media matrix, you got to be consistent. Post every day, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell. I hate that shit. But what I can commit to is showing up every day. I'm going to say 10 o'clock my time because that's the time that's best for me. And yes, this is a fucking about me right now. It's my channel. If you don't like it, go make your own. um, some days it might be later, some days it might be earlier, but I will always do my best to post it as an upcoming live. Like I'll post tomorrow's live today, so you'll be able to tune in and get. But I'm going to continue to show up. And I love that I don't have to have anything. I love that I don't have to have a message. I love that I don't have to have an answer. I love that I don't have to do, it's not about earning anything or singing for my supper or tap dancing. Like I just get to show up and talk, which as the supreme Virgo with 5,000 planets in Virgo and 20,000 planets ruled by Mercury, I'm nothing if not a superb communicator and storyteller. So I'll just fucking show up. That's what it was in the beginning anyway. Back when I started it in 2013, I had no idea what I was doing. And you can even see the video quality is so dark and so poor. I was recording it with a potato. It was the most horrible quality. I think it's like 2 pixels. But I think a lot of this is just about trusting myself that what I love to do is enough to unlock the life I came here to live. That's enough. Because I believe in a benevolent universe. I believe in a benevolent creator. It is not punitive. There is only 2 forces in this entire reality: choice and outcome, force and response. That's it. And so I refuse to buy the fucking story that to be a human is to struggle and to suffer and to slog and to be sick and to be afraid and to be fragile and to be manipulative or manipulated. You know, it's not fucking true. We came here to thrive. We came here to express. We came here to create. We came here to revel in the ecstasy and the joy of being the vessel that the divine wants to know itself through. That's why we're fucking here. Not to feed the bottom line of some fucking turd who has billions of dollars up his ass. So what the fuck are you going to do with that? I'm not hating on money. Get your life, boo, because money's just energy. So hating on money is hating on energy. What I am not here for is what they're fucking doing with the energy. So consider me a disruptor. Consider me your worst fucking nightmare because I'm not going anywhere. And the light always wins. Because here's the deal: the darkness is defined by how much light is present. So, bye, bitch. That's why I'm here. So, now we're going to watch my account get shadow banned. So, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell. What you could also do is sign up for my ooh, that sounds cool, King Lord, Master Lord. You can sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the bio. I'll put the link in the description so that you can stay connected to everything that I'm doing, because this is another thing. I got a lot of messages from people saying, I've been subscribed to you for years, and this is the first video I've seen of yours in like months, like a year and a half. So I don't know if it's suppression. Frankly, I don't fucking care. But what I'm saying is that if you want to stay directly connected, my newsletter is the best way to do that. If you're feeling like you want to share links to contributor, and the PayPal and Stripe links are in the description below. All the stuff is down there. All of my sessions are 20% off through the end of the month, except for the mentorship program. So if you're interested in booking a session, use code SPRING20 at checkout. It'll give you 20% off a session. I think that's it. Go to my, go to Amazon and check out my book. Where is it? Do I have it here? Do I have a copy here? Notes from the Higher Self. Available on Amazon. I don't know where my copy is, somewhere. Like, share, and subscribe. Seriously. Like, this is what I will ask of you. If this lit you up, if this made you fucking like excited and lit up, if this made your sphincter squeeze because you were so like, oh yes, then share. Tell everybody about it. Be a fucking loudmouth. Talk about it. Share about it. Do that. Because that's the only way. It's time to turn away from the Matrix and expect them to feed us. The prisoner, the warden is not going to give you the keys to your cell. It's not. So asking permission from your imprisoner, what the fuck is that? No. No. Okay, I think it's all I have for today. Thank you, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell. So excited to be here with you. We'll continue to show up and see what happens. I don't know. And I don't care. Honestly, I'm just excited to be excited again. I'm excited to have some passion again. I'm excited to be able to do something except for, obsessively worrying about, why I don't have any money. Oh, I love you all. You can also find me on Instagram, Amar Energy. Oh yeah, see, I'm really good at that, King. I was raised by teachers, and I was the kid who always said, yes, I'll do that, and then did whatever the fuck I wanted and always got away with it because my parents were both teachers, and no one would ever expect that such a lovely child. Your child is so lovely. He's so well behaved. I sure am. I had you all fucking fooled. Okay. Love you. See you all soon. Tomorrow, same time, same YouTube channel. No Matrix required. Love you. Mwah. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.